In this video we are going to discuss display values. Alright, so what are display, right? So for example, I'm going to just remove everything from here. Let's say I create a div class equals container, right? And then inside it I create 3 paragraphs, class equals para, and I'm going to copy these. Right, and I'll just do a emit declaration, so you can say lorem 50, which means 50 words will be entered here, right? Lorem 50 and lorem 50, let's say 60, right? So if I save this and I go to my page, so 3 paragraphs, right? This is the block display, which means content is flowing from top to down, right? All right, in this direction, right? So let's say we take our p tags and say that we want the width to be 100 px. Actually we'll make it 1000 px. All right, and we want that there is some margin to them, margin 10 px. All right, 10 px, 10 px, 10 px on all sides, and I want the padding to be 5 px, let's say 20 px, 20 px, 20 px, and 20 px, right? I'll give them a border as well, border 2 px, solid, anything in light salmon. Yeah, so I have gotten 3 paragraphs now, right? I'm not sure if the width is applying. Let's say 100 px. Yeah, so let's say we give it 200 px. How does that look? Yeah, almost. Let's do, actually instead of percentage we will give, instead of px we'll give percentage, 30%, right? So 30%, this is what it looks like. All right, what I ideally want to do is that I want the paragraphs to appear as if they are horizontal, and that can be done with the inline property, right? So the inline property, what it does is, instead of this direction, the top to down direction, it takes a left to right direction. All right, so how do we do that? So we'll take all the para tags and we will give them a display of inline, right? As you can see, now it's a little confused. It's still taking them horizontally, all right, but it's not going in a structured format. That's because the moment you give them an inline, this width property is not considered at all. The inline property only takes content as long as the width and height can be defined for that content as it is. All right, so width and height don't apply to inline. So there is another property called inline-block, right? If I save it, now you can see that they are looking quite right, because this one is taking most of the space, this one is taking lesser space. What if I reduce the width to 20%? Yeah, now they are showing up quite alright. What if I define the height as well? Height to be 50 view height. So there is some issue because of which like they are going, like in this order, and that's probably because of our margin and padding. What if I just say margin top to be 10 px and padding to be 20 px? Slightly it just arrange itself horizontally. um yeah, I'm wondering what the issue might be. So if I look at, let's say we give a margin of 10 px only, what does it do? Still keeps it this way. Why is that? Hmm. So we'll go to our beloved AI and we will ask a few questions. Sorry, instead of chat GPT, we'll go here and ask it. I'll take a screenshot of this. Not now. Why does my web page look like this? And I'll give it my code, HTML. Copy, paste, CSS, copy, paste. And since I want some explanations, give me explanation. The page looks like this because of how inline blocks elements, fixed widths and margins behave together. Let's break down what's happening in a clear way. Each P has a fixed width with 20% because each paragraph is set to 20%, which is okay. But 20% plus margins plus borders for 3 paragraphs becomes wider than the screen, so the browser wraps them one by one depending on available space. You use display inline block. Inline block elements behave like text characters. They sit next to each other on the same line if enough horizontal space exists. If not enough space, the next element moves to next line. They also respect white space in HTML, meaning the line breaks in your HTML create small gaps. You gave them a fixed height, 50 view width. Your text overflows beyond this height, forcing the boxes to stretch downward. The borders extend, but the text remains inside. If I want a proper 3-column layout, I should be using display flex. If you wanted normal paragraph insert, this is what it is. Okay. Let's say I remove height and margin as well. How does it work? So it appears like this. So I'll say if I remove height and padding, then all columns have varying heights. What is the calculation behind that? Yeah. When you remove the height, each paragraph grows naturally based on its content, and because each paragraph contains different amounts of text, the heights end up different. Let's break down exactly how the browser calculates height. Each paragraph is okay. It didn't understand. So my current CSS is, and yet the heights are different, right? uh, Malaysia, and that's probably because of, is that because all text lengths are different? With this CSS, you are letting the browser compute height automatically. Okay, so it's computing the height automatically. That means the height of each p is determined only by the amount of text it contains. There's no fixed height, no minimum height, no flexbox equalization. So the height is just this. Okay. Since each paragraph contains different amounts of text, the number of lines is different. Okay. So the total height is equal to the content height plus top border plus bottom border. Nothing else is affecting it. Okay, fine. But at least what we have understood is that you can define the height and width with inline block, but not so much with inline. If you create inline, it doesn't let you choose height and width. Width doesn't apply, and it just breaks everything, right? But if you keep it as block, so the blocks will just, create it like this, top to down, right? Now there is another one, which is, let's say I give ID, say not important, all right, and if I say hash not important, and I create a display none, so then this, okay, did I save it? Okay, sorry, I didn't save it. So now only two paragraphs come here, and the second para just disappears, and it's almost as if it doesn't exist, right? But is it there in inspect? If I inspect it, yes, it's there in the inspect, but it doesn't show up here. What if I create a property called visibility, and I say none? What is the visibility? Oh, sorry, hidden. Yeah, if I save this, so what happens is that it's there in the HTML. All right, if I still inspect it, it'll show up. All right, but in the website itself, the space is given, the space is there, but the text and other elements don't show up. All right, so that's the difference between visibility and display none. So when you want to hide something but give, leave the space as it is, then visibility hidden will work. If you want to completely remove it from the flow of your website, display none works, right? So yeah, so that's it for display. I think there are other ones which will come to later, something like flex or grids and all that, but those are for later. So we'll be discussing why they are slightly better than using display block or display inline block and all of that.